Hey guys, Brian here from LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, my first ever comic book review. So I've been watching a number of reviews, obviously here on YouTube. Evil Mike in Evil's Comics does a great review and reviews books every week. I mean, the guy's cranking out content. So and there's a few others that I watch. Taylor Winder, he has a number of great reviews. He does a weekly review, and I'll link these guys down in the description. But I've been watching them for some time and decided that maybe I want to jump in and start to do some reviews. So my plan is to start slow, but I'm going to start right here with Amazing Spider-Man number 74, Legacy 875. So there's been a lot of talk about Amazing Spider-Man recently. The current run, Nick Spencer's run as the writer, is coming to an end in this issue, and there's a whole new creative team that's coming on. So this was an oversized issue that had a price tag of $9.99, so pretty pricey, and they had, I think, 18 different variant covers. So almost, it felt a little bit like a Marvel, cash grab here. I did pick up several of the additional covers. I think 2 others or 3 others in total. And I'll show you, I'll cycle through some of the pictures here so you can see some of the covers. The covers were really good. There was some really great art. Peach Momoko did one. There was just some great Peter Parker, Mary Jane covers, but I'll cycle through the pictures so you guys can take a look at them. And the art is done by Mark Bagley. There are a few other artists in the book as well, because there is a kind of a B and a C story, and then an introduction to the new storyline, introducing, reintroducing Ben Reilly into the story. So overall, I thought it was a good ending to the Kindred storyline. It's been ongoing for so long. It's good to kind of finally see it wrap up. But it did feel, although the storyline has been going on for 73 issues, and Sinister War, they did try to cram everything in and tie everything up. Now, I didn't read the Clone Wars, or the Clone Saga, I should say. I've really just started picking back up Spider-Man during this run that started in 2018 with issue number 1 of this series. So I missed a big section of the story, the Clone Saga, and some of the things that kind of were brought up within the storyline. But obviously was able to come up to speed on it pretty quickly. So the big reveal was Kindred. That Kindred was Gabriel Stacy and Sarah Stacy, the AI created children of Norman Osborn, that Harry Osborn created, and they would age rapidly and die. So it was basically revealed that Kindred was both of them, the twins, and it turns out that they were not, obviously not Stacy's children, that they were actually, created and more clones. So that was kind of the big reveal of the story. And like I said, not having the background from the previous, storylines, it really didn't have a big impact for me. But they did tie up with some of these loose ends that were out there in some of the, previous storylines. So I think that was a good thing. And, moving forward, then hopefully we can, build on some better Spider-Man stories. But, now they're bringing back Ben Reilly, and I know he's not, a favorite of everybody and tied to the Clone Saga, the whole storyline that not many people are fans of. But I'm certainly going to give it a chance. And one of the other things that was, intertwined within this storyline was that Mephisto is kind of in the background, kind of pulling strings, and he was kind of the mastermind behind this. And it was revealed that he has known before Spider-Man, Peter Parker was born, or before Peter Parker, I should say, because he wasn't Spider-Man when he was a young kid. Before he was born, that he would have an impact, and possibly end Mephisto in the future. So he is basically has been kind of pulling strings, over Spider-Man for a long period of time and causing him, grief. And so that was kind of a big reveal, because I don't think that has been mentioned before. So I'm sure that will play out in future stories. But that is, obviously kind of ended right now. He was with, Mephisto was with Doctor Strange, and so Doctor Strange was kind of keeping tabs on him and making sure he was playing fair. But there were certainly some, have been some deals with him, over the years. It was, revealed that Norman Osborn had a deal with him on his firstborn son, Harry, and that obviously there was a storyline with Spider-Man and Mary Jane not getting married, that storyline. So it does kind of tie in, and so that I'm sure will pay off in the future. I'm not sure immediately. I think that'll be something that will be explored, further down the line. So, but overall, it was a good way to wrap it up. Like I said, it did feel a little forced. A lot of things, loose ends being tied up very quickly in this issue. But obviously, the storyline has been developing for, I think, far too long. 74 issues, the whole Kindred storyline. But it did wrap up, like I said, pretty well. The one thing that I found funny was that now Spider-Man has been getting his butt kicked for the last, 3 or 4 issues, and all through Sinister War. There were, multiple Sinister Six teams after him, like 24 or 30 villains. I think it was 6, or maybe even more. Maybe it was 6 Sinister Six teams. But, I mean, he's been getting his butt kicked, and he goes through this final battle with Kindred, and he has some help from the clone Harry, but at the end of it, he kind of walks away, and he's, swinging through the city with Mary Jane, and their relationship is renewed, and, they're all lovey-dovey. But I just found it funny that, I mean, he should have at least taken a nap or something, because he got his butt kicked. I mean, he was on, a few times it felt like, that he was near, death or, being unconscious. And so he really got his butt kicked, and, everything wraps up, and then he's out swinging around with Mary Jane, which I found funny. Give the guy a couple days off so he can at least catch up on some sleep and heal up a little bit. But anyway, so like I said, the storyline wraps up. They give you a couple, because it's oversized. They did give you a few other. Like B and C stories. There's a great little story about Uncle Ben, that kind of shed some light more on what type of person Uncle Ben was. And then there is 3 or 4 pages where they kind of introduce the next arc and storyline that will now be picked up by the new writing team and creative team altogether, artists and writers. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how they pick up the storyline, and then see how well I react to the whole Ben Reilly taking over for Spider-Man storyline. Because I don't have that past history with Ben Reilly and the Clone Saga. So definitely interested to see it. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. First time I'm doing it. Definitely want to continue. And I think I'm just going to focus for now on Amazing Spider-Man. They are ramping up the publishing for the next, I think, 6 months. So they will be doing 3 a month. So, and this is another good way to keep me on top of my reading, by forcing myself to do the videos, because that way I'll read it right away and get a review out. So so hope you guys enjoy it. Drop me some comments, tell me what you think about the review or the Spider-Man storyline. Definitely would love to hear your thoughts, because I know there's a ton of Spider-Man fans and readers out there. What your thoughts are on this current storyline, this current run, the 1 through 74, Nick Spencer, the whole Kindred thing, and then how this is going to play out. And if you have any suggestions for me to go back and read, so I read Amazing Spider-Man, probably from like issue 230, 240, all the way up until about 350. So after after the whole Venom and Black Suit and all of that. So, but then I really stopped and I wasn't really following the storyline. So, well into, issue 800. And I know there were some, other storylines along the way. So, I read Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man back in the day. So, definitely, and Spider-Man, the McFarlane series that kicked off in the 90s, 90s. So I definitely have a wide variety of stories, that Spider-Man stories that I've read over the years, but have been away for a long time. So I'm trying to fill in the gaps with some of the current things that are happening. So if you have any suggestions of maybe a current, of a story arc or a run of books that I should go back and check out, or even a trade paperback, or anything that can kind of help me bridge the gap with everything that I've missed, I would appreciate it. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. I know there's a ton of Spider-Man guys, Spider-Man fans out there, so definitely look forward to hearing your suggestions. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with another review.